Welcome back to another episode of Sunscrap Nation's podcast. Your host, as always, Daniel Jonas. Back here, Wednesday, July 26th. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, Charlotte, North Carolina. Here to break down pretty much everything that's been happening in the MMA world. Getting ready for UFC 291. I'm closing in on that 300. This is for the BMF belt. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje, Jan versus Alex Pereira, and then you have a bunch of other really good cards. Even the prelims are stacked. This past weekend was the UFC London. The card was way better than I thought it was going to be, but as far as star power, it didn't go too well for the Londoners though, or at least the UK fighters. Some UK fighters I'll probably Paul Craig, for example, went down to middleweight and out grappled Andre Muniz, who was the next grappling phenom in the division. You know, you're talking about a guy that broke Jacare's arm, so we're seeing a new crop of grapplers. Paul Craig makes that jump down to 185 and just looks not necessarily unbeatable at 185, but at least in the grappling aspect, I would like to see him versus, I don't know, a Jack Hermanson, someone on that kind of level, rather than feeding him like an Edmund Shabazian or something, you know. I would like to see him versus, yeah, I think Jack's a pretty good fight as far as the next notable person. Someone with good takedown defense, also with jiu-jitsu skill. Other than that, Lerone Murphy's keeping his undefeated streak. Not easy, especially against that Joshua Kulabau. And then obviously Tom Aspinall with the phenomenal first round knockout of Marcin Tybura. I'll go ahead and also remember, check out the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. I'm probably going to just do YouTube videos. I may or may not. I'll probably still put the audio up for the time being, but I really want to make this YouTube, the YouTube podcast thing, really set in stone, because I have visual cues, you know. I can pull up fights or highlights, and we're in the audio space. It's very hard for me to show it. All right, here we go. There we go. Boom. Look at this. Jab, cross down the middle. Look at the way he exploited that guard. Marcin was looking for maybe he was thinking another hook was coming because he just threw a hook, and then Tom did a good job of just settling himself back. He threw a wild hook. His weight's kind of getting distributed in a obviously wild way, but it was going back and forth. So he throws look at his weight. So he settles it back by throwing a jab cross, keeping it fundamental. When you find yourself in a wild exchange like this, you're trying to hit him with the hook which I do like the way he set it up in a way where he threw the hook and hit Marcin's guard. He hit the guard to open it up. Not even open it up, but at least make contact. So then when he threw the jab, he knew it was going to be there. And then all it takes is for him to, so he makes contact with the jab. As soon as he makes contact with the jab, he knows it's the right time to throw that cross. Let's see if I can find another one. I think this is going to be more. Yeah, look at that. All right, from this. So he throws a kick. Love that kick. Goes right to the body. Pulls a reaction out of Marcin. And now Tom's going to go on the offensive as a counter. Or he's going to throw that hook. Boom. Tries to throw the elbow, jab, cross. He tries to throw the hook elbow, but Marcin was in camp probably well aware, right? He's really good at inside fighting as a heavyweight. Being able to use his boxing to use his hands to set up his elbows. So that's probably why Marcin had like this, this guard right here. But what happened was this hand, instead of having both hands up and at least making that little gap harder to get through, he for some reason had this hand down. I don't know. I've seen this guard before. I do not think that's a viable guard in MMA. I feel like you're leading yourself into like uppercuts, and good boxing I feel like can get through something like that. Like Muay Thai, for example, you kick the boxer, box the kicker, right? And Muay Thai, there's a lot of good applications for technique. However, Muay Thai's always struggled with really good boxers. So when you have someone who's solely focused on fighting with their hands, they're going to find openings that you didn't really think were there when you have all these other weapons to worry about. So I think Tom Aspinall is just, also his eyes are very good, right? But it's one of those things, man. He just like smokes competition, right? And then the one person he goes against in Curtis Blades, nothing really happened. He just threw a leg kick and blew his PCL out. And it's like, man, do you run that one back? What does that mean for Curtis Blades? Is he next in line? Like, should he be more next in line? Who should Curtis Blades fight? Who did Curtis fight last? I'm pretty sure. It was Sergey Pavlovich. Yep. Sergey Pavlovich. Yeah, he lost to Sergey. So, and then, yeah, now he's going to fight Jai Hilton. So, does Jai Hilton follow the path of going beat Curtis, fight Sergey? Or should we do Tom versus Sergey for title elimination? Even though Sergey was Tom was talking about going to fight the winner of Gone versus Spivak, but I think that should be whoever loses that should have to fight Jai Hilton, or whoever wins that should have to fight Jai Hilton. I think they have it backwards. I think Tom should go fight Sergey, because I don't think he has anyone lined up. So that would be the move. All right. So other than that, no one else. It wasn't like it was a bad card last weekend. It's one of those. A lot of them went to decision. It's not like they were bad performances, but the ones that you didn't want to go to decision went to decision. This weekend, though, I'm excited. I'm excited for the whole card this weekend. Like early prelims. There's not one fight that I don't want to see on every single one of the cards. Never mind. Maybe on the early prelims, I don't want to see it. A couple fights fell out. However, for the prelims, it's still pretty good. Yeah, they're really. I think one of these. I know you guys can't see it, but one of these fights was probably supposed to be on the prelims, and yeah, probably one of these fights was supposed to be on the prelims, and they threw it onto the main card. It was probably Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland. All right, so let's get into some news. Excuse me. Just to check some stuff out. See if there isn't any news. There probably isn't. All right, news. Give me news. The latest. Dan Hardy expects improved Pereira. I only really see benefits. Yeah, I mean, I've and when I break it down, I'll talk more about it. But I've been like very nervous for Alex Pereira moving up in weight. Not in the sense of like he's not going to be healthy. Like I think it's a good move for him physically and for his own health. But the opponent that they gave him is like, why? Why that guy? Why that guy? Just because Jan's, Jan's Jan. But I want to see him at light heavyweight as far as speed and technique, how it stacks to the. For example, when we saw John go up to heavyweight, we clearly saw a discrepancy in the technique on the bottom for heavyweight fighters. At least at the top echelon with Cyril Gane, right? In the sense that Ngannou took him down. We were like, wow, he's got terrible ground game. But we didn't realize how bad his ground game was until John took him down and like subbed him in 2 minutes. Like, that's the technical discrepancy. It's not that he's got bad takedown defense. It's also that he's got bad bottom game. Like, he's not good grappling in general on the bottom. Whereas that, it's one thing to have bad takedown defense. If the person on top doesn't do anything, then whatever. And you get back up or you can threaten submissions, like, no big deal. But if the person on top also can just, like, submit you, hold you down, do damage, there's a lot you need to work on. Now, same thing for Alex Pereira. Like, he is technically very good at striking. That in the middleweight division, we saw a discrepancy in a historically striking division. We saw that even his technique, there was a discrepancy, but it's because of his accolades and like how far he's been. Like with Izzy, when Izzy came on the scene, like clearly he was that good. And then he and Izzy had his thing, right? They had a thing. They did it twice. Now that he goes up to light heavyweight, is the skill set of the light heavyweights striking wise, is it worse than middleweight? Or is it maybe on par, maybe a little bit better, where they're going to be able to adapt to his striking and get his reads and understand, like, he's not just, there's like, you don't just like understand it. Like, they're going to be cocky and think they can just go in there and, with these gloves, it doesn't matter. Or are they just going to be like the middleweight division? Like they're going to get blinded. They're going to get blinded like a deer in the headlights. Oh, here's a huge shout out in news. Yesterday, in a way, Inoue versus Fulton. Let me get this highlight. Okay, here's the highlight. Naoya Inoue versus Fulton. Stephen Fulton, I think. All right. So, what a fight this was, right? I mean, it was good back and forth. Inoue is so good technically. You talk about technique. I mean, he shut Fulton down. He wasn't like, at first it was like very, you got to throw a little bit more, buddy. Like, come on. But then by the 8th round, when the knockout happened, you're like, God, dog, this probably was here the whole time, but he just was, setting it up. So let's go ahead and take a little quick look at it. So he was jabbing the body the whole fight, and then
And the reason why Inoue can get there quick with that
His
jab
jab was
is
just
because
on point. He
Fulton has
bloodied
those
Fulton's
size
mouth out
hands.
with the
His base
jab.
is so
And
wide,
then he
it's
goes
really hard to get
to the
to
body.
it.
Boom! Right over the top of that right hand. And that left hook was perfect. So then he, obviously he responds to the 8 count, which, big on Fulton for responding to the 8 count, but, it's the beginning of the end. Inoue just hits so hard. And not only does he hit hard, so going up in weight for him, he gets the featherweight titles one, but going up in weight for him is like, you have speed. I was talking about this with a buddy at jiu-jitsu the other day, who's, he's constantly, he's a smaller guy, so he's constantly going against like really fast technical guys. And I asked him, I was like, because we were doing Shark Tank, and I was just like, Dave, big guys or small guys for Shark Tank, speed or weight? And he's like, I'd rather deal with heavy guys. Like, speed's way worse. And I go, yeah, and that's coming from Dave. Like, he's fast. So imagine, like, this guy being fast hates fast guys. And if they're faster than him, yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with that. So, in a way, being faster, but also a guy known for his power, he doesn't have the Max Holloway situation where you go up and you have the speed, but then Dustin Poirier has the firepower to keep you off from being able to do like long combinations or let your hands fly. Inoue's got the speed plus the firepower if you want to try to press him. And his power and his footwork is so good. And he looked perfect size for featherweight. I don't know the featherweight division, so he wins the belts and everything, but overall impressive. And it shows like Japanese boxing and American Philadelphia, boxing. It's like he's not technically like he's not lacking in technique or the skill. He almost technically beat him in boxing as well, didn't just knock him out. He is as good as everyone thought he was, right? But I think the Donaire fights, people just don't get it because of the smaller weight classes. And I understand that. It's the same as MMA. Like, DJ is one of the best in the world of all time. But, you don't really think about it because he's such a small weight. But then when you see him go against even 135ers and one, you go, oh, yeah, that's right. He's one of the best in the world. So everyone's concerned with Alex Pereira is that he's coming off of that brutal knockout pretty quickly. But I think it might be I don't know if it's the case that he's coming back at a heavier weight class that he doesn't really have to worry about that stuff. But I don't know, man. He's a kickboxer. Talk about a guy that gets knocked out and does turnarounds all the time. It's not him that he gets knocked out all the time, but he's in a sport where that shit happens all the time. That's a big point. Oh, you guys aren't even seeing this. This is a big point that I was gonna bring up in the breakdowns in a little bit. All right, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway wants to fight Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje after clash. I'm glad these guys have that. One guy's got 2 wins over me. Shaped my damn head. The other guy's almost exposed me. Wait, one guy's got 2 wins over me, shaped my damn head, and the other guy almost exposed me to the world. Wait, what does that mean? Who's going to simply take more damage? Who simply can last longer? What does that mean? Almost exposed me to the world. I don't know what that means. The other guy almost exposed me to the world. Huh. I don't know what that means. I literally don't know what that means. Scary. Vincente Luque cleared to fight after suffering brain bleed, and Jeff Neal. No, yeah, that was a bad knockout. Brain bleed. Yeah, no shit, dude. That was so bad. Go watch that Jeff Neal fight versus Vincente Luque. That's a guy that was like, oh my god. Ignacio Bahamundes versus Ludwig Klein. Go watch that Jeff Neal Vicente Luque fight. I mean, he doesn't really have to worry that much about. He doesn't really have to worry as much about that with Rafael dos Anjos, but still, wow. All right, back to where we were. Banter, legend, John Jones, excuse me, I don't know. Now deleted tweets. Everyone's the next big thing until I beat them. Right, clear, absolutely. I think what he wrote was true. I just, he's doing the Connor midnight tweet and deletes. Maybe John should get a podcast. I don't know. Wait, Chael Sonnen returned. Is he coming back as a? Is he coming back? Yeah. Okay, John Nicotero. Don't clickbait MMA fighting with Chael Sonnen's coming back for the broadcast team in a way where it's like, oh, he's going to be color commentary. He's not going to be color commentary. He had colorful commentary, but he's not colorful commentary. Okay, what have we done? This is dumb. UFC 290. This will be Dustin Poirier's 12th UFC main event. Only 10 have headlined for the promotion on more than one occasion. Yeah, but it's all champion. Yeah, I guess he's like not a champion, so that's a big deal. It's terrible. Terrible. But to fight who? Paulo Costa is the only person. CC breakdown. Probably watch it. Yo, let's give Triple C the Southern Scrap Nation boost right now.
Look at his position. Look at how it's off. And yeah, he might stretch. Boom. Got him. He copied it now. Boom. This right here is not a good position. And notice what it doesn't.
Is this Triple C like hating on Connor, or is this Triple C actually breaking down Dustin Poirier?
Now he's just like, so now he's taking McGregor like how he got Eddie Alvarez, and that's it. And we got nothing but.
See that this is him. This isn't a breakdown. You want me to break this shit down for you? All right, this is what he does. He right hooks Conor McGregor, right? Then he goes for that leg kick. And it forces Connor to like overextend, and then he gets his back against the cage. And now in this position, the one thing that Dustin has that a lot of fighters don't have, and in MMA it's very valuable, especially in this situation. See how Dustin is in a parallel stance? If you're looking at this fight like Dustin's forward pressure, he's trying to fight Connor going through the cage. That's not the way he... That's why he goes parallel. One is because it's like, well, if someone shoots on you, then he can stuff the or he can sprawl on a takedown. True, but Dustin's a switch hitter, so when he switches this position, he's giving himself an orthodox angle, and now fighting Southpaw v Orthodox. And that's why these shots like this, they're not necessarily directed right in front of him. He's more fighting like I'm fighting at the side, like I'm trying to hit your open side. And that's why these shots force Conor on this leg, which, if you all remember, was taking all those leg beatings. Now he's got to go backwards off balance. And this shot from Poirier doesn't necessarily... See, now Conor's fighting in Orthodox. Conor doesn't ever fight in Orthodox, so his balance, one, isn't there, and two, he's on a compromised leg. But Dustin fights Orthodox and Southpaw. So now it's a fight of Orthodox and Orthodox. So now he tries to regain his stance, and now Dustin's still Orthodox. Left hook over the top. Boom. Right hand. And now Conor's got no base. And then he can hit him again, and now Conor's feet are parallel.
McGregor,
and see how he stumbles back? Yeah, he takes a hard shot, but he's stumbling back because he's on his heels. And then from there, it's easy. Boom, boom. Yeah. Dustin's a switch hitter, so situations like that make it really cool when he finishes somebody. So no, Triple C wasn't breaking it down in that sense. He was just hating on Conor. Gay. The rat filled the... Oh.
Explode through that. I want power. Elbow up. Good. Let's do it again. And go. All right, we'll rotate, get that reciprocation. Just like you're running, right? Good. Now I want you to roll it and put it into your back pocket. Good. Right there. Squeeze. 4, 3, 2... Drive. Let's go. Big drive. Big drive. Big drive. Come on. Big drive. All the way. All the way. Keep going. Keep going. Get it done.
I don't know if this stuff is legit. I'm probably gonna hear some stuff about it from my friends that are more into that stuff, but I like his stuff. Johnny Eldman. Get this guy over to UFC with all that Bellator rumors. Musayev. So it's the guy in the white shorts. Sure, 5-1. What, 5-1? A 5-0 run, or like a 5-0 like record? Tofi. Azerbaijani. So he's 20-5. I guess he's on a 5-fight win streak. Dang. All right. Good for them. All right. I don't really care about it. I mean, these are great. BJPenn.com, always. Okay. Let's just break down the fights. So, for everyone listening, 30 minutes in. Let's go. Yeah, baby. 30 minutes in. Let's go. All right. Early prelims. Breakdowns. Matthew Selma. I don't even know who Miranda Maverick's fighting. So, they're 12-4. I guess Joanne Calderwood's out, so whoever Joanne Calderwood was fighting. Anyway, forgot it. Matthew Semmelsberger versus Oros Medic. I remember this guy. If I do, I think it's the guy that did some spinning stuff. Oros Medic. Yeah. Yeah. I think he knocks this dude out. Oh yeah. This guy's fun to watch. I have this guy over Matthew Semmelsberger. Matthew Semmelsberger was supposed to fight Johan Lenice. This dude is way worse of a matchup than Johan. Oh, but he's a lightweight. Oh, he's just not cutting weight. Oh, even more so. Yeah, this guy's gonna. I mean, he's not even. He's like kind of big for lightweight too. So I bet and it's his speed. So like with the look at this, feints in, left kick, boom, head kick, left hook over the top, or right hook over the top. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I like this guy. Yeah, I've got Uros all day. I think this is a bad like replacement fight out of nowhere. Then you have CJ Varga versus Vinicius Salvador. Usually I don't do this, but we'll go ahead. CJ Vargas. MMA. Let's go. Incredible comeback for CJ Varga to beat Daniel Lacerda, UFC San Antonio, not too long ago. Sorry for that. Okay, so boom. Oh yeah. This is the guy that, yeah, he ran away. We've seen this strategy before, and it worked. This is the second time it's worked. And I think this guy's one of Oliveira's guys. Yeah, it worked. See? What's her name? Chandler. Something Chandler. She did in her last fight against Norma Dumont. It didn't work. I mean, she still lost the fight, but she didn't get knocked out. Vinicius Salvador. Okay, another guy that just likes playing in that fire. I hope this dude wins, just because if he fights like this, I hope he wins. Yo, let's go Vinicius. I like that. All right. Cool. Vinicius Salvador. Between the two of them, man, I think the composure of Vinicius with the hands. All right, Jake Matthews versus Darius Flowers. Jake Matthews has been looking phenomenal since his move to welterweight, or not move, but his resurgence in welterweight. Oh, wait. Yeah. When he knocked out, he knocked out Andre Filio. Yeah. Something he did something and he came back, and yeah, I think it was for this fight. He looked awesome. No, it was these two. He lost to Sean Brady, and then he lost to Matthew Semmelsberger, but then he rallied back. I'm gonna go Jake Matthews, just based off win 2, lose 2 maybe, but also late replacement. Darius Flowers is from the Midwest, Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. I'll go Jake Matthews. And then Roman Kopylov versus Claudio Ribeiro. I like Roman Kopylov because of his boxing. However, I know his last fight. No, he knocked him out. I'm gonna go Kopylov, just based off his more technical boxing, and if I can remember, Claudio Ribeiro throws some heavy hands, so I think off of just like technical boxing, this guy's not going to be able to get away with that stuff. Oh, this is the guy that, he fought the guy that he beat with the left hook. Like, he left hooked that guy before, and then he left hooked him again. I just don't think Kopylov is going to be there for him. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kopylov for sure. Derek Lewis versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. I like this fight a lot for Derek because you're going to get a guy who's going to swing and bang with you, but probably doesn't have as much power as you. So it's going to be up to Derek Lewis if he wins this fight. It's where Derek Lewis's head or like mind or mental state is at. If he's good, which I think he's like lost weight and training and wants to be there, then great. But if not, Marcos Rogerio de Lima is using Derek Lewis to step up. I like Derek Lewis, so it would be cool to see him win and get a win, after not having one for a little bit. But De Lima, Rogerio is like he's on a win, or he's got 2 wins. But his weakness, Derek Lewis isn't known for, which is the wrestling and pressure. He's got pressure for the hands, which I could see working, like put Mauricio on his back foot, make him commit to a shot, and then make him pay. But like I said, we have to see where Derek Lewis' mental state is at. If he wants to win this fight, he can win this fight. And you could say that about every fighter, but at the same time, I mean, he's one of those guys that on his best day, he's one top 2 in the world for heavyweight. Not so much anymore, but he was in the Daniel Cormier when he was champ and stuff. He has good, he beat Curtis Blades. Obviously, Sergey Pavlovich knocked him out, but it's one of those things he could beat Sergey, but it's where's your mind at? He could beat Tai Tuivasa. Where is his mental state? And that's what gets him the most. Gabriel Bonfim versus Trevin Giles. Well, we thought Gabriel Bonfim's brother was the truth. And maybe he does get a win over Trevin Giles, but I don't know. Well, Trevin Giles actually, he won his last fight. He won his last 2 fights. He's motivated. This might be it. I'm going to go Trevin Giles on this just because, well, I'm really not going for the Brazilians. Just because he's motivated and he saw this dude's brother lose, and it's maybe I destroy this hype train. Maybe I take the hype train out. Now, Gabriel Bonfim, it's up to him to not go wild and get caught. And it's up to Trevin Giles not to let this dude Dricus Duplessis him, because that's what happened to Trevin. Is one of his first fights one of Dricus' first fights, if not his first fight, was against Duplessis. And, I mean, Trevin Giles beat Roman Dolidze. That's what I'm saying. Same thing with Derek Lewis. Like, Trevin Giles has the ability to beat the top guys. It's just, it's not easy. Being cheesy. All right, so now we get to the main card. Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland. I'd like Kevin Holland to win. We haven't seen Michael Chiesa fight in a while. I like the activity of Kevin Holland, so the fact that he's back in here after beating Santiago Ponzinibbio and having that war with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and the last time Michael Chiesa was in here was against Sean Brady in November 2021, and he lost. Kevin Holland, I think his activity is just too much for Michael Chiesa. Like, not activity, like, not his physical activity. Well, that too, but also his, like, activity fighting is going to be a benefit. On top of that, like, you want to do jiu-jitsu with Kevin Holland? Awesome. You want to try to take him down? Cool. There's not much he can offer in the stand-up. Kevin Holland's a middleweight welterweight, whereas Michael Chiesa is a lightweight welterweight. I think Kevin Holland's just going to be too big and just too much. Lightweight, Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. What a veteran matchup this is. This is where Bobby Green's style has helped him immensely. His defense style, obviously he's been knocked out, but not in the brutal way that like Tony Ferguson had to deal with Justin Gaethje. As far as miles on their body, Bobby Green with with 43 fights, 44 fights, 45 fights because of the no contest. And Tony with his 32 or 34 fights, right? So veterans of fighting in general. Bobby Green's had more fights, and he's taken less damage because of his style. And I think it's a cool back and forth. Like, it's a cool stance switching thing. And before, I would think Tony had the hand, I would think Tony had the leg up on this one. No pun intended. Because of his awkward style and how much, like, the versatility in his toolbox. Like, anytime I look at fighters, whoever has the more variety in their skills and technique, usually I'll side with that person more. But in this case, I think Bobby Green, being a switch stance person with really good defense and a boxing heavy footwork based style, I think, and not being afraid to be on the back foot and getting his head off center line, I think he's gonna be able to like tee Tony Ferguson up with his boxing. And I really don't want to see that happen, but I can only really picture Tony Ferguson's head straight up in the air, trying to, do his rolls and stuff like that, and then Bobby Green just sniping him from different stances and punches, maybe against the cage or something. Kind of like the Ally Quinta fight. Wait, did he get knocked out his last fight? Oh, it was a no contest with Jared Gordon. He looked good against Jared Gordon. He got knocked out in his last two. That Drew Dober one was bad. But I don't know. Drew Dober, he's not a pit bull like Drew Dober. Like, Tony's not like a... Yeah. I don't know. In the lightweight, he's back at he's at lightweight. I think Tony would have been better at welterweight in his later career. I just think I think it's not that it's Bobby Green's time, but as far as the two veterans go, Bobby Green probably will keep this one going. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Michael Pereira. I'm going to go Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Michael Pereira seems awkward and all that, but I think he's going to get stuck in the headlights just like everyone does when they fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He doesn't have the ground game to be such a threat like Gilbert Burns or Bilal or any of these guys who can shoot and actually complete takedowns and hold them down. I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is going to side to side. I don't know. He didn't even really show his age against Kevin Holland. And Kevin Holland's style, I think, and build is more of a problem than Michelle Pereira in that sense. So I'm going to go Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But remember, this is all Salt Lake City, Utah, too. So it's all dependent on the conditioning of these fighters. If they're smart, they would have gone out and acclimated at least 2 weeks ahead of time. If they're not, everything I take, put it on the other person then, because it is a different beast. We saw it the last time they were at, I think at Salt Lake City, like when Usman and Leon fought. Like, it's just a problem. Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. Like, you saw them, dude. Like, it's a problem. So if you're not there, I don't know what to tell you. And then this is the fight. Jan versus Alex Pereira. Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira for a lightweight fight, co-main event. Should have been for the title. I saw a video that says that Jan's got a susceptibility to the left hook, which is cool. Yeah, awesome. If Alex Pereira sees that susceptibility, he's going to see it. But what makes me nervous about this fight, and I'm going with Alex because I want to see him win. I want to see him win the title, and I'll break down my thoughts about that. But my issue with him is he's going up against a guy who's a powerhouse of a puncher, Polish power. And it's not like he throws jab, jab, cross, like all that. Like, he's not a technical in and out fighter. He's got a high fight IQ, but he's in there to be, he's like Justin Gaethje at light heavyweight. Like, he's there for the car crashes. He's there to slam his body against your body. So I'm hoping Alex Pereira's power out, like in a beam battle, I hope it takes over and like beats Polish power. But at the same time, small gloves, Polish power lands. He's against the cage. Same situation. Alex Pereira goes for that left hook. And then just like Izzy, over the top right hand. Jan, it wouldn't be surprising to me if that happened. My heart says Alex Pereira. My brain says Jan Blachowicz. I'm torn. I see the way for Alex to win. Left hook Larry. Left hook. Body shot, left hook. Boom. Stay on the outside. Pick him apart. Be fast. Technical. And I'm not even saying like he's going to take him down and do what he did to Izzy. I'm saying my concern is Alex hurts him, gets a little too overconfident, and Polish power. Because if Alex wins, we have Alex versus whoever the next in line for the titles for. They fight. Alex wins the title at light heavyweight. Next thing you know, Alex versus Izzy for the light heavyweight championship, and that'll be their next two fights. And then they both ride off into the sunset because they'll both be like 30, 40 years old. They'll both be 40 years old by then. And then it'll be up to the UFC to figure out who the hell is going to be the next big star, because after Izzy, there is nobody. So justify pay-per-views after that, Dana White. It'll be hard. It'll be very hard to justify pay-per-views when you have John Jones gone, you have Izzy gone, you have Conor McGregor gone. Who brings in 1 million pay-per-view buys consistently? Regardless if you like Conor or not, regardless if Conor even comes back or not. If he does come back for one fight and he's 185 pounds with a gut, 2 million people are going to tune in. There's no fighter on the roster or in the world currently that 1 to 2 million people will pay for a pay-per-view. Give me one. Give me one fighter. One fighter people will pay $1 million, or not 1, but will pay 1 million pay-per-views for that fighter to watch. No one. There is literally no one. And when you have John gone, and you have Izzy and Alex's whole thing gone, who? Sean O'Malley? Sure, I guess. But he's not bringing in 1 million. John Jones doesn't even bring in 1 million pay-per-view buys. The only person that's brought in 1 million pay-per-view buys, I hate having this conversation over and over and over again, but it's Ronda, Conor, Jorge, and Brock Lesnar. That's it. This BMF thing isn't going to do anything. You can't justify a pay-per-view. Like, if you pirate this card and you're from the United States and you don't pay like a subscription thing, like I know in Brazil you pay for like Gambachi, where if you pay for that subscription, you get access to the fights. If you're in the UK, you pay for BT Sports and you get the fights. So you don't pay a pay-per-view. If you're in a country where you have to pay pay-per-view and you don't pay for this pay-per-view, I literally do not blame you. Not that this is not a good card, and as a hardcore fan, you should pay for this pay-per-view. But like a casual fan, why am I gonna pay? Why am I gonna pay for this? Like, why am I gonna pay for this one? Maybe because of Hamzat. But then again, who's the audience? If you're making a card for Islam, Hamzat, like Ikram, like that's clearly for the Russian audience, right? Does Russia or any of those Eastern Bloc countries have a pay-per-view like system? If not, why are we doing pay-per-views? Pay-per-view model's dead. Just saying. All right, so let's get to the main event. Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje for the BMF belt, the rematch. I like this fight. You know why? Because it immediately sets up a trilogy. Because Justin's most likely going to win this fight, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to just cut the BS. I'm going to go right to it, the meat of it. The point is, Justin Gaethje's not the same fighter as Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier's cashed in 2 Conor McGregor fights, and that's a lot of moolah. And I think Dustin Poirier has not evolved, whereas Justin has evolved. And where this is Justin's come up, Dustin Poirier is not necessarily like fizzling out, because if you put him against any of the top 10, he's most likely going to win. But when it comes to the top 5, it's anyone's day. Michael Chandler held him down for a whole round. And that, to me, mentally, is Dustin going, okay, whatever. Justin's a guy that Michael Chandler couldn't even hold him down. Right? Justin's still going to fight. I don't think Dustin has technically, he can fight and beat anybody. And like I said, the switch stance and all that kind of stuff. But Justin's fought that fighter before. So I think Justin goes out there, and I think he's going to be a little bit too fast, and he's going to be more technical than Dustin remembers. And so those situations that Dustin's like, oh, I'm just going to be ready. So when he's in that space, I'm going to level him. I don't think Justin's going to be there anymore when Dustin is like ready to counter. I think when he thinks Justin's going to still be there, Justin's not going to be. And then off rhythm, attack Dustin. Gaethje's going to attack Poirier. Here we go. That's better. Gaethje's going to attack Poirier on an off rhythm and probably put him down. And then that sets up the second fight for the BMF belt, Redux. Then you go part 2, Gaethje versus Poirier 3. You re-roll it. You do another fight. I don't know where. To Florida, maybe. Who knows? Who gives a fuck? And then those 2 fight again, and then retire and never fight for the belt again. I wanted to do an episode last week, and I wanted to do one before for the Mayo Bonasova, but it's just like, guys, I'm breaking down arguably one of the best cards, top to bottom, and even I'm questioning the main card. Like, why, or the main fight? Why are we even doing this? Like, yeah, sure, I guess BMF, whatever. Is The Rock going to be in the audience again? Yeah, I like Gaethje for this, but you know what's a fun fact? They both have lost to Charles for the belt, and they both lost to Khabib for the belt. Weird. Yeah, so I think Justin Gaethje wins this fight off of his awesome new evolution. All right. And those are my picks. You got Justin Gaethje. You got Alex Behera with the chance of beyond. Stephen Winterboy Thompson, Bobby Green, Kevin Holland. And then those are, okay. And I'll do those two. Trevin Giles, Derek Lewis, Roman Kopylov, Jake Matthews. All right. I hope you all enjoyed today's podcast. Remember, go check out SouthernScrapNation.com. Come train with me. Schedule a private lesson. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here you go. Just set it up. One group class. Put your first and last name. I'll get in contact with you, and yeah, we'll get you good. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, Jiu-Jitsu. I teach everything, my friends. All right. Also, Xavier is fighting August 11th. So make sure to check that out. Also, Justine Kish is fighting August 11th. So make sure you check that out. South Dakota for Bellator. Other than that, and my kickboxer Cam, hopefully I can get him set up with something in September. So support the team, support the gym. Love you guys. Hope you all have a good day. And until next time, stay safe. Peace.